This is Infants on Thrones.
Minisode.
Hi there, everyone. This is Joe, coming to you live today from the eternities. Joseph Smith. Okay, I know Joe may sound a little too casual to most of you. Like it's somehow an insult to my heritage and my legacy to call me Joe. But it's what I prefer to be called. I was constantly combating this culture of hero worship, even in my day. Not only from those around me who wanted me to be something different than I was, something better than I was, but inside me, within my very egoic self. It was always my Achilles heel. It was one of many, which is partially why I still prefer to be called Joe. Of course, I've been keeping track of what's been going on with this church, and I know that all of you have been groomed. Okay, I'm sorry, Matt. I used the word groomed, but frankly, I don't give a shit what you think. How's that for tone? I'm sure that you've all been groomed to expect your venerated leaders to put on a perpetual show of reverence and pomposity. Gag. Using their full names with a middle initial to slip some thin layer of frosting on top of their deeply thick cakes of insecurity. Russell M. Nelson. Come on, Russ. Why all the fuss? Dallin H. Oaks. Henry B. Eyring. Formal heads of a formal funeral home. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know. Maybe you think I'm being all sour grapes. I didn't have a middle initial, so I couldn't be Joseph whatever Smith. But, you know, people call me Joseph Smith Jr. now to try and get that 3 pattern. So, I don't know. I just always preferred Joe. And it bugged me when people around me insisted on Joseph and trying to make me sound more acceptable to their expectations of a prophet of God, as if who I was and what I was wasn't enough for them. I was kind of okay with that because, I'd look around and I'd see that I didn't have to compensate for a lack of imagination like these guys do. And I'll level with you. Imagination, that's it, man. That's what prophecy is. People who think they're psychic, people who are empathic, people who pretend. It's just what you imagine. It's the same thing, creating thoughts. That's how you create reality. You might think that I say imagination and that means that something's not real. But where do you think everything that's real comes from? It has to start by being imagined somewhere. And that's what you guys do. That's what you have. Imagination. Don't knock it. Don't think, because it's a fiction, it's not real. You may think, if it just exists inside my head, then it's not a real thing. Well, I have news for you, brothers and sisters. Everything is just inside your head. What you see in the world outside your eyes is a construction created by your brain. Your brain processes light waves and sound waves and creates images and meaning. Likewise, the thoughts that you think create emotions, biochemical, hormonal emotions. And every single one of them is divine. All of them. They're all divine. And by that, all I mean is that they exist. You exist. Your thoughts exist. You are divine. Your thoughts are divine. It doesn't even matter what they are. Just the fact that they exist means they are divine. The line between divinity and everything else doesn't exist. Everything is divine. It's all just what is. The name of God, I am. Existence itself is divine. Why would you think anything less? I know why. Because people who don't feel special really feel like they are missing out on something. And they are. They are missing out on the simple, undeniable truth that existence is a miracle. The fact that you exist, you who are made up of billions of cells, which are made up of trillions of molecules,
which are made up of trillions upon trillions of atoms, more atoms in each of your bodies than there are stars in the observable universe. You are atoms made of electrons, protons, neutrons, those tiny bits of energy, made of even tinier bits of eternal energy that once upon a time I called intelligences. Because whether you know it or not, they are intelligent. They are conscious. They do communicate with each other as part of a cosmic, organic internet of all things. They are the apex of evolution, mind you. And they are you, cooperating and swirling and vibrating and wiggling around as you. It is miraculous, brothers and sisters, that you are even here. It is miraculous that you exist. It is divine. The fact that you grew out of this planet to become who and what you are, regardless of how you think you compare to any other person, you, all by yourself, your thoughts, your behaviors, your experiences, your strengths, your weaknesses, out of all the infinite number of ways that subatomic intelligent energy manifests itself as life, you are the only you there ever has or ever will be. You are an amazing miracle of existence. But most people don't know that. They don't feel that. They're told that they're sinful, fallen, wrong, bad, stupid, not worthy, and they believe it. And what are we here to do? What is it that everyone loves to do? What is it that our biology drives us to do? It's to create in so many different ways. What are your leaders creating? A lot of real estate holdings and wealth. But what are they revealing to you about your own divine nature? You come to General Conference for inspiration, and you're so desperate for it that you overinflate the divine significance of minor policy changes and superficial cosmetic corrections to improve an image that, you're right, desperately needs improvement. Trust me, I know a thing or two about images that need to be improved. But the improvement you guys need are in areas that you're not willing to carefully consider or improve. And calling these guys prophets, seers, and revelators, your bar for inspiration is set very low, brothers and sisters, and it saddens me. No, more than that. It offends me. It angers me. Or it would if I really cared about it anymore. Your so-called Mormon leaders have taken my legacy, inflated it, turned me and most of my teachings into a clown, and then drowned it in a sea of pharisaical arrogance, bureaucracy, and a toxic pseudo-certainty that has completely cannibalized the casual system of curiosity and wonder and personal freedom and joy in exploring all questions of the divine. Remember, when I say divine, I just mean existence and evolving theology that I was actually creating. And I know it's my fault as much as anyone's. I know most of you think that I was just a con man. Well, that's because I did too many things to con people. I admit it, but don't think for a second that I didn't also tap into divinity from time to time. And remember, when I say divinity, I mean existence, not the whore across the river from Nauvoo divinity, although I did tap into that once or twice as well. But that's not really what I'm here to talk to you about today. Not exactly. I mean, that's a funny word. Exactly. I'm going to go on another tangent here. But exactitude, this idea of exactness, that's part of the problem. A main ingredient in the illusion that you are all trapped in. Those who feel that the path to heaven is paved by exactitude and precision when you cross all your T's and you shut all your I's. Ask no intellectual questions and I'll tell you no lies. But there are still people out there who do seek inspiration through your imagination, inspiration through pondering the unanswerable questions of life and of death, those who ignite excitement within their hearts and minds through the process of theological speculation and debate,
those who are less concerned about arriving at a perfectly defined destination than enjoying each unexpected twist and turn on this journey through this massive sea of uncertainty and surprise. Those who are comfortable with the ephemeral and uncertain nature of deep doctrines. Those who find great inspiration and illumination through ever-evolving degrees of truth. Those who understand that there's a difference between facts and truth. Those who put a premium on the sloppy, moving targetness of seeking and personal enlightenment rather than the neat and predictable and prescribable and doomed to crumble into dust, color inside the lines quest for following rules in a futile attempt to check all the boxes needed for momentary exactitude. What I'm describing here is the illusory pseudo-certainty appeal of capital T truth. But listen to me, brothers and sisters, there are no fixed lines to color inside of in the world of nature. They do not naturally exist in the world of living things. The process of evolution is based upon change, mutation. What survives, survives. What doesn't, doesn't. But no living thing is rigidly remaining within the sphere of their existence. We push on the elastic boundaries of possibility. That's what we are. That's what we do. It's what we're made of. And we evolve and we change. So don't fall for the false comfort that a worship of stagnant, hard-fixed boundaries would appear to provide. Certainty is an illusion. Everything shifts and changes. And any straight, exact, solid structure that you build is doomed to eventually fail. Everything, everyone is temporary. Everything moves. This is a wiggly, wiggly world built upon wiggly, wiggly things. The only constant in your life is change. The trick for peace and happiness is to learn how to dance with it, to flow with it, and sometimes even against it, and to enjoy every minute of it, to love it, to become it. This is a deep but simple truth, brothers and sisters. Some of you already feel this intuitively because deep down, you know that you are wiggly too, and you long to learn how to flow with the unflowable, to enjoy even the unenjoyable, to love even the unlovable. You intuitively recognize that this, after all, is the purpose of life. To calibrate every tiny bit and piece of your very selves with the great chaos of existence. Not to conquer it, not to control or to manipulate it, but to join it. Or, more accurately, to accept that you already are it. It already is you, even though we feel so separate from it. And some of you feel the truth in what I'm saying, and it's to those people who I speak today. You are the only you there ever is or ever will be. And even though your body and your ego, like mine, will one day lay in the dust, the intelligent energy that animates you, that is you, continues to live on and continues to interact with fellow strings of intelligent energy forever and ever. And the uniqueness that right now is you becomes a part of the whole of everything that is. In fact, brothers and sisters, the good news of the gospel is that you already are that. So laugh, love, forgive. Enjoy the uncertain ups and downs of this roller coaster life. It is temporary. It will pass, and so will you. Embrace that. Find peace in it. Whether you call yourselves Mormons or attend church for 2 hours or 6 hours, or conduct inappropriate bishops' interviews, or live in a country with corrupt, ineffective politicians and people of power behind them that would exploit you at every turn, fear not. Have faith. All these things shall give thee experience. You are sons and daughters of divinity. How do you know? Because you exist. In fact, you are divine already. How do you know? Because in fact, you exist already. This is the gift that I have returned to give to you today in this conference talk. And I say these things
In the name of Brian Greene and Alan Watts, and theoretical physicists and dreamers and seekers everywhere. Amen.
Hi, this is Hillary.
Matthew,
Brian,
Carol,
Keith,
Ashley,
And I like to play bingo online while listening to Infants on Thrones.
You can comment on this episode on the website, infantsonthrones.com.
and if you really like what you hear, give the Quorum a 5-star rating and write a short review on iTunes.
I did.
Anyone for the closing prayer?
Thank you for listening to Infants on Thrones.